Good afternoon. My name is Kelly Lam. I'm the Vice President of Marketing. Welcome, bienvenue, willkommen. Many of you are at home, safe with your families. We hope you all are. We encourage you to remain at home and be safe in this very unique times that we're all facing within Canada and in fact around the world. Nonetheless, many of you, our customers, have actually reached out to us in this situation, seeking information, whether it's about products that you already own, services that we're offering right now. But many of you have questions about products you're interested in buying. For this reason, we're here today to introduce an all-new service in Canada called Mila Live. These sessions will happen multiple times per week with different sessions per day, covering various topics from dishwashers, laundry machines. We'll talk to you about our coffee makers, from our built-in machines to our freestanding coffee. We'll even share with you information about Mila coffee beans that you can enjoy at home. We'll talk about our cooking products, from our steam combi ovens to our convection ovens to our ranges. And obviously, we'll also talk to you about our vacuum cleaners. Pour ceux d'entre vous qui ont demandé pour des sessions en français, on travaille actuellement pour avoir des sessions en français pour les semaines qui viennent. Mila Live is completely interactive. As you're watching us, you have the ability to ask us questions in real time by leaving your comments on milalive.ca. And we'll try to answer these questions as we go along in today's session. If we can't get to all the questions, some of you have actually already sent in questions for us, but if we can't answer everything while we're actually on camera here, we'll be sure to have our product experts answer your questions by leaving a comment in the comment section, or if it's very, very detailed, we'll actually have a product expert email you an answer directly. We're really excited to cover today our area of floor care, and we have our floor care expert with us today, Dean. Welcome, Dean, to Mila Live.
Thanks very much, Kelly. Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us online today. I'm really happy to be here to talk to you about Miele vacuums. So I thought I'd start off with just giving some perspective on why you would want to choose a Miele vacuum for your home. And there's three different overarching reasons why I believe a Miele vacuum should be in every home. The first reason comes down to the quality of our product. So Miele has actually been in the business of making vacuum cleaners since 1927. So we have many years, many decades of experience making vacuums, and we're certainly an expert in this product category. Our vacuums are German engineered, the full lineup. Many of the components are even made by Miele in Germany, including the motor that goes into all of our canister vacuums. And the vacuums are rigorously tested. The design of our vacuums is intended to last the equivalent of 20 years of use in the average consumer's home. So when you purchase a Miele vacuum, it's really an investment, and it's going to be with you for many years. And so there's a lot of testing that goes into making sure that the product will stand up over the test of time.
So Dean, you talk about testing, and obviously we know the type of quality and extent we test in our factories. Mm-hmm. What's maybe one of the tests that sticks out the most in your mind about how we test the vacuums?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple of things, but I think particularly with canister vacuums that trail you around the house, and sometimes kids in the house can grab hold of them. Some of the most interesting tests we do are really around the durability of the actual product. So there's tests where we'll drop the vacuum many times over and over, simulating what might happen in the average house.
I think it actually happens in many houses.
Probably, almost every time the vacuum is used, it goes through a little bit of a wear and tear. So we make sure that everything, particularly like with the ABS plastic that the vacuum shell is made of, is really going to last all that kind of wear and tear. So.
Well, I think that also speaks to the fact of the 5-year warranty that we actually currently put on the vacuums, that we stand behind that product.
Absolutely. So we mentioned how it's intended to last the equivalent of 20 years of use. with all of that testing, all of that thought that's gone into the quality of the product. You're absolutely right, Kelly. It's backed by a 5-year warranty. That's parts and labor, all components. It doesn't matter if it's the dusting brush that comes in the box or the motor, it's covered. And in fact, our motors are even covered for 7 years.
And those are actually Miele warranties, so we underwrite those ourselves. You're always dealing with us in that particular case.
Absolutely. So when you're looking at purchasing a Miele vacuum, or really any vacuum for that matter, one of the things that you're going to have to make a decision kind of soon on with your shopping is, are you going to go with a bagged vacuum that requires a dust bag, or are you going to opt for a vacuum that doesn't require a dust bag? So I thought I'd just take a couple of moments just to sort of walk through for you what the advantages are of both. Miele, we offer vacuums that require the dust bag. For example, this white one in front of me is a complete C3. And we also offer vacuums such as this blue one here. This is our Blizzard CX1 that doesn't require a dust bag. So when you're thinking about which route to go, some of the things to consider, people that don't want to come into any contact with dust or dirt, perhaps they suffer from allergies or just don't want to have to come into contact with any dust, going with a Miele vacuum that requires a dust bag is probably going to be the route for you. One thing that you'll notice about our dust bags, Kelly, is that there's a spring-loaded trap door on here. And it's really quite effective in terms of when the vacuum is turned on and the airflow is coming into the bag, this trap door will open. But as soon as the vacuum is turned off, it springs shut. So the dust
amazing.
that comes in is not going to come out. So that's really the advantage for those that want to go the dust bag route. For those that want to choose a Miele Blizzard CX1 with no dust bag required, you can think there's definitely some advantages there.
Absolutely.
For one, there's going to be cost savings. So you're not going to have to buy dust bags over time. And we were mentioning how the vacuum's going to last around 20 years in your home. So over many years, that can add up to a considerable amount of savings, about $20 a year. There's also the convenience. You're not going to have to shop for the dust bags. There's an environmentally friendly benefit to this, that you're not going to have to dispose of dust bags. So there's many options and reasons why bagless vacuums and our Blizzard are so popular in the market.
But one thing I love when I look at these two vacuums is I'm a design guy. I love that there's a consistency in the design, whether I choose the bag vacuum or the bagless vacuum. There really is a consistency, but also a quality behind the design itself, which is amazing.
Yeah, and I'm glad you noticed that, because that is something about the design aesthetic of our vacuums, is there is a lot of consistency across the lineup, like you noticed. You'll notice that the type of color, the type of finish is consistent across the lineup. The plastic I was mentioning, that ABS, very, very strong plastic shell, you'll find on all of our canister vacuums. So there is definitely a lot of consistency. Also with the floor tools and accessories, a lot of consistency. And even a lot of our accessories are universal, so they will fit on all the different models.
Can we maybe dive into each one of them in a bit more detail? And we'll start with the bagged one maybe.
Sure, sounds good. So as I was mentioning, this particular one we're looking at, this is a complete C3. This is called Complete C3 Excellence. It is available on Miele.ca right now. And this vacuum, I'm just going to disengage the hose here. And we'll just start off with just going over the vacuum a little bit. So there's a lot of convenience features that have been built into this vacuum in order to make it really easy to use and a joy to use in your home. So one thing you'll notice is that in order to operate the vacuum, a lot of the controls are down here and they're actually foot activated. So for example, this foot activated button here is for turning the vacuum on and off. We've also got one here. This is going to be, you press this button once with your foot, just a tap, and it will automatically recoil the power cord all the way into the machine. So you're not going to have to bend over to be able to do those types of changes to the vacuum. The other thing that Miele is really well known for with their vacuums is the amount of control of the suction power that the user is able to have with the vacuum. So with our bagged vacuums that take the dust bag, you actually have 6 different levels of control. And what this really does is it turns a vacuum, which many people might think of as only a tool for vacuuming your floors,
Right.
and makes it a tool that you can use for cleaning and vacuuming all different types of surfaces in your home. Everything from upholstery to curtains. So, one of the things that makes it possible to clean curtains with this is that when I choose the minimum setting for suction power, I'm just getting a gentle amount of suction. So I'm not actually going to suck the curtain right up. I'm just going to have enough suction power to peel the dust right off the curtain.
So really a lot of flexibility for consumers on the different surfaces they need to clean within the household.
Absolutely, yeah. The other thing, we talked about some of the controls and the convenience of using it, but also at the end of the day, what you're really looking for is a very high-performing vacuum. And one of the areas where you want to judge performance of a vacuum cleaner is around filtration. And this is an area that Mila really excels in. So let's take a look inside the vacuum, and I'll talk a little bit about the filtration. So a bagged vacuum from Mila has actually 3 different stages of filtration. So the first step that the air that's coming into the vacuum is filtered through is actually the dust bag itself. So the dust bag right here is going to capture, by and large, most of the dust. And we talked about how there's that spring-loaded door to make sure that that dust, once it gets into the bag, stays in.
Like, that's amazing, Dean. I just quickly look at that, and I know that this vacuum actually has been used here.
It is, yes.
I can kind of tell from how full it is, but I look inside the vacuum right now, and there's 0 dust. Like, that's just amazing that the bag really seals in any dust from that.
Yeah, it's very remarkable. It's very, very clean, and as you said, Kelly, this is an actual live demonstration model that we use in the showroom. So after that first step, where most of the dust is going to be captured in the bag, if by chance any really fine dust were to somehow escape, there is a second filter here, and this is called the motor filter. And so this is a second step of filtration and also helps to protect the motor from any kind of dust. And then lastly, there's actually yet another layer of filtration, and that is what we call this air clean filter right here. And this is filtering the air just before it exits out the top of the vacuum. So 3 different levels of filtration. Combined, those 3 stages is going to filter 99.9% of the fine dust that enters the vacuum.
So in a lot of ways, Dean, even though you're really vacuuming dirt off the floor, and that's what I think all of us think about when we actually vacuum in the home, the reality is the air coming out of the vacuum in some ways is cleaner than the air actually.
Absolutely, yes. And we've done testing where we've looked at the particle count of the ambient room air, and we've compared it to the particle count of the air being exhausted out of the vacuum. And to your point, we find that the air coming out of the vacuum is often actually purer than ambient room air.
So I know, Dean, you talked a little bit earlier about stepping on the vacuum to actually control the vacuum. I think a lot of customers, our customers even, would be nervous doing that. Are they going to damage the vacuum by stepping on it? From a quality perspective, what would you say to that?
So the ABS plastic shell on these vacuums is incredibly strong. This is the same type of plastic that's used in sports helmets. So if we think about like a football helmet or a hockey helmet, exact same type of plastic. So we've actually seen, and I certainly don't suggest doing this in your home, but I have seen my colleague, who, very big guy, over 200 pounds, stand on this vacuum. You don't even hear it crack. Like this, it is very, very solid machine.
And I think that speaks to some of the tests that we do in our factories in regards to quality assurance for our vacuums.
Absolutely.
So maybe we should move over a little bit and have you speak a bit about the bagless vacuum itself.
Sure. So this was our bagged vacuum, Blizzard CX1. That is what we call our bagless vacuum. It's actually, we have an offering of 3 different models for Blizzard. So they're all available on Miele.ca right now. You'll find that there's a black one. That one is our hard floor model. So if you have mostly hard floors in your home, that's going to be the model for you. The one we have in front of us here, this is the Total Care model. What this one comes with is an air-driven turbo brush that looks like this, which is specifically designed for carpeting. So if you have carpeting in your home, this one is a great option. Not to say that the black hard floor one can't do carpeting. But if you have a higher pile carpet or more carpet, this is definitely the Total Care model would be good for you. And you also see on Miele.ca that we've got a red version called the Blizzard CX1 Cat and Dog. That one actually comes with an electric power head. So again, it's very designed to do carpeting, lots of carpeting. The difference with the Cat and Dog model is it comes with the power head that actually has an electric motor right inside the power head. So the Cat and Dog model is the one you'll want to choose if you have fairly high pile carpet, if you have wall-to-wall carpet, also if you have pets. Having a power head is really effective for helping to collect the dust and the fur. So in terms of the actual bagless vacuum, just a couple of things that I want to point out that really make our bagless vacuum stand out in the market. And I'm just going to disengage this hose here. One thing that you'll find if you were to research bagless vacuums in the market is that it's quite unique on the Miele Blizzard to be able to have this dial where you can actually control that suction power. So we were mentioning all the benefits, that you can now easily vacuum your drapery, your upholstery, all different types of surfaces with the bagged vacuum. Well, you're able to still control 4 different levels of suction on the bagless Blizzard.
So wouldn't I get that with some other vacuums out in the market in regards to bagless?
So surprisingly not. And a lot of it comes down to, with a bagless vacuum, we have a very unique airflow. So the Blizzard CX1 is actually a monocyclonic airflow. And what you'll find in the market is that a lot of bagless vacuums are actually multicyclonic. And there's some real big advantages to having a monocyclonic airflow like we have in our Blizzard. One of the main advantages is that you're actually able to separate the really fine dust from the more coarse dust. And so in our vacuum here, this is the main dust bin. And in here, only the more coarse dust is actually going to be captured. The fine dust is going to be captured into a separate chamber inside the vacuum right here. And that's made possible by having that monocyclonic airflow.
So how often do I need to change this?
So the amazing thing about our Blizzard vacuum is it's actually very smart, and it will tell you when it needs to be changed and when it needs to be cleaned. Mila, when they were researching and developing this bagless vacuum, they asked consumers, like, what are some of the pain points around a bagless vacuum? And one of the main things that consumers said they didn't like was that bagless vacuums are kind of dirty and messy to deal with. You're coming into contact with that dust. So Mila has actually thought a lot about how to make operating a bagless vacuum as hygienic as possible. And so what we've done with this chamber here that collects all that fine dust is you're able to easily take it over to your kitchen sink, and all you have to do is run some water into this opening here.
Oh, wow.
And give it a shake. You can notice I'm not having to touch that dust. I don't have to touch that filter, and just let all the dirty water run out. Then I just unscrew the top. This is what the filter looks like. You can see I'm still not making contact with the dust or the filter, and just let this dry for 24 hours.
Do I need to buy a new one like once a year in regards to the filter, or
This
every
is a
6 months?
lifetime filter, actually. So for the 20 years that you'll have this in your home, this is the only filter you're going to need. For those that are watching online, this might look like it's a paper filter, but it's actually made from a material called gore. And gore is actually waterproof, so this is why it's able to be washed. So that's the filtration of the vacuum. And what I the main point I want to make around the bagged vacuums and also our Blizzard bagless vacuum is that at the end of the day, it's your choice. And no matter which choice you make, which model you choose, you're going to get a very, very high performing, high quality vacuum that's going to do an amazing job of collecting dust in your home.
So, Dean, one thing you mentioned before we jump to the next topic is the different kind of power heads and tools. A lot of Miele customers have multiple vacuums in their homes. It could be different Miele vacuums. Do they have to buy? How will they know which specific attachment for which model? And do they have to buy, say, a power head, one for the bagged and one for the bagless?
Right. So the nice thing is that all of our accessories, so not necessarily the floor tools, but if we're talking about, for example, accessories like dusting brushes, upholstery nozzles, crevice tools, all of these have a universal fitting. So these are going to fit on any of our canister vacuum models. So whether it be a bagged or the Blizzard, they're all going to fit. Also, even many of our floor heads fit. The only one that you cannot fit onto any model would be an electric power head. And the reason is the electric power heads require electrical to be going through the hose
Makes
and the
sense.
wand. But all these three very common floor heads that you'll find in many of our models are going to fit on any of the model. So this is an air-driven turbo brush for carpet. This is a very common floor head that you'll find in many of our models. We call it a universal floor head. And what it allows you to do is, by pressing this switch, you're able to switch it from being appropriate for going on hard floors onto low pile carpet. And for those that might have really fine hardwood floors, really don't want to worry at all about any types of scratching or anything, we offer a really nice dedicated hard floor tool. Very, very soft bristles. You can see there's no metal, nothing on there. So this is a really great option as well. And my recommendation would be, if you're in the market to purchase a Miele vacuum, is to look online at which floor heads come with the model. If you have any questions or are unsure, please fill out the form. If you look under the FAQ of the screen you're on right now viewing this episode, you'll be able to book a personal telephone consultation with a Mila expert who can help pick the right vacuum for you, just to make sure that you're absolutely sure about your purchase. So my recommendation would be to purchase the model that has the floor tools that will suit your needs the best based on the type of flooring you have in your home. Now, if you are watching this show and you already own a Miele vacuum, the nice thing is that we sell all of these accessories on Miele.ca. So if you want to purchase additional accessories, if perhaps the type of flooring you have in your home have changed, please go to Miele.ca and you'll be able to purchase all different types of accessories and floor heads.
Well, that's great. So we're going to jump to one final topic before we maybe answer a couple of questions. We talked about bagged, bagless. There's one other category of vacuums that seems very popular in the marketplace, which is the so-called robot vacuum.
Right.
What do we have to offer in regards to a customer that is looking for that solution for their home?
All right, so I've got over here, this is the Mila Rx-2 robotic vacuum. This is our second generation that we've launched in the market of a robotic vacuum. And there's been a lot of advancements with this one. So some of the really cool things about this is that you're going to be able to operate this vacuum from your smartphone remotely.
Oh, cool.
So that is really, really convenient. Perhaps you have guests that are coming unexpectedly and you're not at home, and they're going to be coming when you get home later in the day.
Right.
You can launch this vacuum to do a vacuuming of your main floor, for example.
Right. I know my kids would start it before we get home,
Yes.
for things that they've done that they shouldn't have done.
Yeah. We've got two different models. We even have the higher end model, the Home Vision model, actually allows you to see from the perspective of this vacuum through your smartphone. So it actually has cameras on it. So really, really neat technology built into our robotic vacuums.
Any parents out there would like that one for sure.
Yes, yeah.
So maybe we'll take a couple of questions from our online viewers right now. So we have one question from Mo33 London, who asked the question, what type of bags do I buy for a cat and dog vacuum? And I think, Dean, in general, the question is, if I'm unsure again about what type of bag to buy, what's the best way for me to find out? What are the different options, especially right now when it may not be so easy to go into a store?
Right. Well, the first thing you'll want to do in purchasing a dust bag for your Miele canister vacuum is actually pretty easy, because what we've done is the Miele dust bags we offer today, we only offer two different types. There is a GN version and a FJM version. And so there's only two types. What you want to do is you want to look at your vacuum cleaner and look at where that dust bag fits into the collar here. And take a look at what color is this? It's either going to be blue or it's going to be red. And that's how you can match it up to the packaging, okay? So if I look, for example, I've got our dust bag packs here. And you can see right on the front, I see blue GN. It matches the dust bag I have at home or the color inside. That's the easiest way to match it up. We've tried to make it color friendly. The other way, just so that you understand, what is the difference between an FJM and a GN dust bag? So technically, the fitting, I can take, for example, this FJM bag, so we see red, and technically, it actually does still fit in here. So even if you made the wrong mistake, you're still going to be able to use the dust bag. But what is the difference? The difference is the FJM bag with the red color is actually 1 liter smaller, and it's designed for our compact C2 models. Any model that says compact in it. We have some compact C1 and we also have compact C2. It takes a smaller dust bag. That's the only difference.
Good. So Dean, obviously in the world that we're facing today, it's more challenging for our customers and viewers out there to get to stores. What are some of the options right now should customers want to buy, let's just say the vacuums right now?
Right.
What are options right now?
So our vacuums are quite widely available in the market. So most places that sell vacuums, premium vacuums, you will find most of them are selling Miele. Perhaps the easiest way to purchase while you're watching live is on Miele.ca. So we have our full assortment available on Miele.ca. At the moment, we're actually not even charging shipping, so it's a great time to purchase from us online. If you have any questions, I absolutely encourage you in the FAQ section. You're able to find a link to be able to fill out a form to request a telephone consultation. So we're absolutely here to help and answer the questions and make sure you get the right vacuum for your home.
Yeah, that's a new service also that we have launched over the last couple of weeks to make it more convenient for all of you right now to, again, remain safe in your homes, but we still want to provide you with our product experts' knowledge to help you through these times. You know, I'm looking at the floor here and it looks like I didn't help Dean at all, but we're also practicing social distancing properly. So that's why it's not that I'm not willing to help Dean right now at all. Dean, maybe one other question before we close out this session. We have a question from Penelope Chloe, and she's asking, I suffer from allergies. Which vacuum model do you recommend I buy?
Mm-hmm. So the great thing is that you're still, even if you're an allergy sufferer, you're still going to actually be able to make a choice between bag vacuums or our bagless Blizzard. So one thing I didn't mention was with our bagless Blizzard models, these have a built-in lifetime Hepa filter. So it's really Hepa filtration is what you're looking for if you suffer from allergies. And all of the Blizzard models have it. On the bag side, what you want to do is you want to purchase separately from the vacuum one of these filters here. It's called a Hepa air clean filter. And when you put this in to the vacuum instead of the air clean filter that the vacuum comes with, what you're doing is you're increasing the filtration rate from 99.9% to 99.95. So you're getting down to the point where you're going to be filtering bacteria level particles.
Okay. We have another question from Selby. And Selby is asking, the question is, do we have any actually promotions right now going on for consumers to buy?
We do, absolutely. So one promotion that I just wanted to call out is this one. Here's the promo code. If you go on for the next hour onto Miele.ca, you're able to purchase our extra large packs of dust bags. So these two here, the FJM and the GN that we were talking about, for 20% off. Each box will last you roughly about 2 years. So it's a great time to save some money on the dust bags. We've also got promotions on our vacuums. So right now we're actually running a great promotion that runs until end of day Thursday of this week on our Blizzard cat and dog model. So this one is regularly $9.99. It's $250 off until Thursday at $7.49. And also the blue one, our Total Care Blizzard, that one is $150 off, so regularly $8.49 down to $6.99.
Wow. So, Dean's talking about this promo Mila Live vac bag. So this is really exclusive to those of you that have joined us live today with our live stream. And it'll be active once the session's over for the next hour for you exclusively. Dean, one question you mentioned, obviously, with the value pack that we offer. I think one additional viewer had the question of how often do I need to change my bags? That actually comes from Bianca L.
Well, it's a little bit of a challenging question to answer, and it really depends a lot. So it depends on how often you're vacuuming, how large your home is, whether you have pets in your home. All of those types of factors will contribute to how much or how little dust is in your home that you're vacuuming up. What I can say, though, that on average, the average household will go through a vacuum bag once every about 3 months. We sell boxes of dust bags that come with 4 dust bags. So that's about a year's supply. The ones you were looking at in front of us, these come with 8, so this is about 2 years' supply. So it really sort of depends on the situation, how much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, in these times right now, Dean, as we wrap up this session, and thank you everybody for your questions so far. Where again can, if we can just remind kind of the viewers or give them tips on where can they buy the vacuums right now? I know Miele.ca, but is there other locations that they can go online and shop safely again? Right
Absolutely. So I encourage you to go visit Miele.ca, and if you click on Find a Retailer, you'll be able to search for a Miele vacuum retailer in your city. So we have a wide variety of different dealers and stores that sell our vacuums. You're able to search by your city as well as by your postal code. So it's pretty easy to find a list of all the ones that are close to your home.
That's great. So I know, unfortunately, time is running, and there's a lot of questions we weren't able to necessarily get to, but I have a feeling, Dean, we'll be seeing you again in an upcoming live stream on Mila Live.
I'll be
in
back
the coming
a couple times.
yes, in a couple of days and weeks. We really hope this has been helpful for you. Again, we'll have further sessions, and we are continuing to develop new sessions based on ideas that we get from you. So be sure to share those with us, what you'd like to see, where we can help you best. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the latest schedules, as we will be bringing new sessions in the coming days and weeks as we go forward. Be sure to register with us. There's benefits of getting the latest schedule, but also you get a chance right now to win a $100 Mila gift card if you're actually registering with us at milalive.ca. Dean mentioned before, take advantage of our Mila personal telephone consultation service that we're offering right now. You can sign up there on Mila.ca, and you can actually, again, safely right now from your home, be in contact with one of our product experts who can answer any questions you have, whether you're buying a new product or actually whether you own one of our products and just have more specific questions for us. So on behalf of Dean, the entire team at Mila, we want to thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you again and in the next live stream sessions that we have going forward.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, and be safe.